Hello and welcome to the channel. We're going up to Home Bargains. It should be quick. So I've got all these things going on in my mind. So there's two things. There's three things actually that I'm sorting out. This is now Tuesday morning. So we'll go up and get stocked up in sponges and stuff because I'm going to a tractor show soon. But one thing is, do not, like when you're selling anything, do not let MD give you short change, like, oh, I've only got this on me or that on me. Don't stop that. And I'll let that happen on Sunday. Also, don't let anybody go away with something if they haven't paid for it. Under no circumstances. And what happened at the weekend, Sunday, was somebody that had become somebody that had become used to me had done that. So what I'm saying is that normally I don't do that, but what complacency gets you. Complacency. So complacency. So it's no familiarity. Familiarity gets you. So familiarity. So that's where the people that you know will start doing you over. And that's what I'm really talking about. It's kind of what I'm really saying is something to warn you of that. Well, I don't need to warn you. You maybe need to warn me, but anybody that maybe doesn't know about things or whatever, or it's a reminder for everyone that when you get familiar with people, sometimes they'll start taking advantage of you, and that's what happened. And so there's a relationship starts to. So you've got to stick to these principles, and I didn't, and that's what's annoyed me about me on Sunday, that I let somebody do that. So I'm supposed to be in charge. Now, the other thing that I'm going on about is the group that I go to. There's a dynamic in it, and I need to step back from it, and I'm trying to. And it can turn ugly because the reason is that if you're in a room with people who have issues, so it's kind of like, if you could imagine how unfortunate it would be if you landed up in prison, right? I mean, I haven't been in prison, but I'm not, people do land up in prison, but could you imagine if you're in this institution with these people that have all got there, for the most part, through bad decisions, and then you're trying to sort of deal with them, and they're still employing their habits that they've used or learned from childhood, and that's what's happening. And I'm trying to keep away from it, and I'm not obviously not able to say exactly. Does nobody give a fuck about? Right. You just see them, you just know they're not going to bother stopping. Fair enough, whatever. But roundabouts are. What the fuck's going on up there? There's a digger or something. Oh, it's turning off. Right, so where are we parking? I'll just go in here. It's just like, guys, trying to. You have to. I sort of get soft. I think what's happened. I've just got soft, and don't get soft. You can't. You can. But then look, at least I'm talking about it, and I've identified the issues that I'm having, and it's like I'm keeping a barrier up. It's just like a barrier up. The barrier, in my case and what I'm talking about, should be tighter, so I need to tighten it up. So the individuals that I'm talking about, I'm aware of them. So I suppose that's boundaries. I'm talking boundaries. I've got boundaries. I need to reinforce them. Whereas in the case of just go, it doesn't matter. So how do you conduct your life to get to a stage where you're not accountable for anything that happened? And that's what I'm talking about with this group. That nobody's accountable, but not all of them are like that, but a lot of them are, and a lot of it's their fault, and a lot of it isn't their fault. Like how you find yourself, where your life is, and where you live, and your surroundings, and the hassle you have, and the problems. And there's one in particular who is surrounded by, absolutely surrounded by, like trauma, discord, upset, anger, violence, are surrounded by it, and it's always around, and it's like a way of life, and And for me, I've sort of tried to challenge that, and she started on me. So that's just part and parcel of her life. Just, you know, just fight all, and then get nowhere and produce nothing and just exist a miserable life with trauma and discord. What's the other word? You know, just negative, unpleasant, horrible, unfruitful. It's not a fruitful life. It's not doing any good for anyone. It's just circulating around this negativity, and not really improving. So somebody comes along, that would be me, and there's signs like, so I'm trying to instill some of my habits onto other people, and say, like, I'm sort of saying, like, well, instead of getting a taxi, instead of mooching lifts, why don't you walk? But no, that's not an option. That's, to them, that's like, you've really offended them by suggesting they should walk 3/4 of a mile instead of fucking mooching a lift, you know, and the pleasure and the enjoyment you get out of work. But they don't, or she doesn't have that ability to see beauty around her and, you know, the landscape and everything. She just doesn't see anything. And as soon as we got there, she started talking about sex right away. She brought that into the conversation. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.